we doing today? How we doing? Oh, as you can see, I'm getting ready for the show this Wednesday. Getting things kind of set up. So, it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to do, this is Monday, by the way. I've got to get this out of the way for Wednesday. So I'm going to do maybe a couple of viewer questions or comments, so to speak. I mean, look them up here on the phone. And some of these may not be, what you say, new comments. Sometimes it takes me a while to get to them for one reason or another. And here's one here. It says from Richard Bethia. It says, Skip, good morning. My wife Gail and I have enjoyed your videos for well over a year now. Well, thank you for watching. I had mentioned to you earlier this spring that we were planning to move to the villages as soon as we sold our home in South Carolina. Well, we sold our home there on June 26th and bought a courtyard villa in Chitty Chatty on July 2nd. We are still in the midst of too many boxes and buying new furniture, some to be delivered today, but we're here. Well, congratulations on being here. Half of the job is over right there. Listen, I know it's a process. Everybody goes through it. Selling a place up north, deciding on what you're going to keep, what you're going to sell, donate, give away, all this stuff. I went through it. Everybody I know goes through it. And then when you decide what you are going to keep, if you don't have a truck or a trailer or something to haul it on, how are you going to get it here and make sure it gets here in one piece? I had that problem with two, I'll say, antique furnitures, one of which, I don't know if you can see it or not, it's right over here. That was Sue's brother's Edison, and we wanted to make sure it got here in one piece and not banged up, scratched up, or broke it up. So I packed it up, took it apart, packed it up, brought it down myself. The other one was, after Dad passed, his grandfather clock. Nobody had the room for it, and I wanted to make sure it stayed in one piece, so when it come time for me to hand it down to my son, it would be in working condition. And so anyway, I literally took this grandfather clock apart, and I packed up everything separately in bubble wrap and anything you can imagine, and we wrapped the grandfather clock up in, I can't even remember now. Seems to me, I went to the store and bought, I think I bought a roll of bubble wrap. I wrapped the heck out of the casing of the grandfather clock, the wood, the antique wood, and the door, the glass door, and brought it down myself. I didn't want to trust that to a moving company to, those are the kinds of things you'll have to have issues with and take care of them the best way you can or the way you want to take care of them. But that's the way I took care of them. Figured I was retired. At that time, I had a minivan. I had room for it. And so no, I take that back. I did not have that minivan. What I done was we flew up to Fort Wayne. Our son picked us up. He took us over to a car rental company in Muncie, Indiana, and I rented a Chrysler, I want to say Caravan? No, Town and Country. It had the stowaway seats. I had to have that, the stowaway seats. So I had a complete open area in the back. And I brought it down here, the clock, and yeah, I took it back north because Sue's brother's wife wanted to come down to the villages and check it out. So she came down with me. And then she was here for, I don't know, a week, maybe something like that. I couldn't keep this van forever. And then I took it back to Muncie, turned it in, got a plane ticket, and then flew back home. I think that's what I done. That sounds about right. So you'll have to figure that out. It's something everybody has to do. It's just like when you move in a home. It's not unusual here. By far not unusual. If you buy a brand new home and you're moving down here, the average setup, I did it, a lot of people do it, is there'll be a couple of lawn chairs in the living room, some kind of a TV, usually set up on the floor, plugged in or something, maybe sitting on the top of a cardboard box, and an air mattress in the bedroom. And that's the normal setup. and then they start shopping for furniture and getting the schedule set up to get things delivered. And there's so many people seem to be so embarrassed by that. Hey, look, we all did it. I did it. I think I still got the air mattress over here in the closet. We keep it for a guest. I never got rid of it. So listen, you're not going through anything differently than anybody else has went through. And if you need help, you got neighbors and people in villages that understand, and they all help. Garage full of boxes? Yeah, I had them. Everybody had it. Your next question is going to be, when you get done, what am I going to do with all these empty boxes? You can set them out for recycling, if we still do that. There's going to be some changes about recycling. But what I did, I went on, I think it was Talk of the Village's webpage back in the day. I had all these boxes. The boxes, it's got the metal thing in it for hanging your clothes. I had all these moving boxes. And I set them out at the end of the driveway. Now, the regular square boxes, I just folded them up and put them in a pile. And I set them out at the end of the driveway. I put a little thing on Talk of the Villages saying if anybody wants any moving boxes or whatever, I put my address in there, said come and get them. If I'm not here, just go ahead and take what you want for free. Me and Sue went to town. I think we were busy painting and unboxing. We were tired, so we went to town to have dinner or lunch or something. I forget. This is when I lived up at Lake Sumter. And we came home one day, they were gone. Every one of them were gone. So it's a consideration that there's other people moving in, there's other people moving out. Nobody ever talks about that. There's people moving in and moving out every day. They're always looking for boxes. And so if you can help by putting a little ad and let people know you got these boxes, other people appreciate it and they'll come and get them. Where did I leave this at? I bought a courtyard villa in Chitty Chatty on July 2nd. We're still in the midst of too many boxes and buying new furniture and so on and so on. As soon as we are truly settled, probably in mid-August, I've had this for a while, as you can see, I'd like to contact you to see if we might meet up for lunch. Keeping in mind we are at nearly 70, both actually aware that we need to keep our distance. Maybe you could recommend a good spot close by. There's good spots everywhere for lunch. I mean, there's no one better place than another, I suppose. But as long as you live here, you'll pick out your more favorite places. By the way, we've been told that the Chitty Chatty Bridge should be open by the end of August, early September, Labor Day weekend. But we'll wait and see. Well, I'm reading this the last week in September, and it's not open yet. So there you go. And by the way, you're late getting in contact with me, too, about lunch. Just saying. But, yeah, if me and Sue's around. Matter of fact, we met some lovely people yesterday at Beer World, and they had a lot of questions about our opinion about a lot of things, and most of which Sue knew about prices of this, that, better places to get, this done or that done. I can recommend a lot of things, but Sue has most of that information, really. She has a better memory than I do when it comes to phone numbers and things. But, we were there for, I don't even know how long, a couple hours, maybe longer than that. It wasn't anybody down at Brownwood Square last night. So, yeah, we had really the place to ourselves, Beer World. It wasn't but us, and maybe inside, I think at one time there might have been 6 or 7 people in there, but by the time we left, there wasn't nobody in there. So I think people are still conscientious of the social distancing thing. But Rick and Gail Bethea, yeah, give us an email or something, and we'll see about doing lunch if you want to. And what else did we have? Trish sent me a thing about asking about the village's health care. And then the medical expert, he couldn't make it this month. There was a lot of scheduling issues. The snowbirds are starting to float back. So he's making appointments to help people with Medicare decisions, Social Security decisions, all these different decisions you got to make when you go to Medicare, the supplemental plans and so on and so forth. So, and always remember that some of these guests I have on, their business depends a lot on the snowbirds returning. That's the prime time of year. And so it's always a question sometimes when you start getting into October, through March on my show. When I try to get a guest here and there, I don't have to, but I do. Whether we're going to get one, because they're all busy. Most of these businesses here, their viability depends on the snowbird season, and restaurants are the same way. I read somewhere where they made something like 60 or 70% of their yearly budget in the 3 and 4 months of the snowbird season. So the snowbird season is very, very critical to a lot of businesses here, including real estate people, including the Medicare guy, Medicare expert guy. So it's always an iffy thing. He won't be here, but your question was about the village's health care. And I think you might be a little, just a little maybe unaware of what I'm talking about when I talk about the village's health care. Let me see if I can find it here. It says, I'm trying to understand how the Medicare supplements work in the villages. Well, our supplemental plans don't work any different here than anywhere else. The villages don't have anything to do with that. That's Medicare. And Medicare, you can get the supplemental plan, you can get the Advantage plan. You have to decide basically on those two things, really. But if you're talking about being in the village's health system, then they changed things a little bit as time went on. Years ago, they did away with traditional Medicare with supplemental plans. You had to go to the Advantage plan, or you could no longer be in the village's healthcare system. And that upset a lot of people. But I came down as a newbie, so I fit right in. And I'm still on the Advantage plan. But basically, I'm healthy. Basically, I don't have any internal problems. I don't have any serious problems, I don't think, or anything like that. So the Advantage plan is good for me. I haven't paid one dime for anything yet. If you have some underlying problems, the Advantage plan with their deductibles and things may not be the best fit for you. So you got to make those decisions for yourself. But if you want to be in the village's healthcare system, then here's what I know so far. One, they want you to be on the Advantage plan to do that. Now, you may want to call the village's healthcare system and get all of the updates on what is required now. They'll tell you on the phone, no big deal. I don't know if they got a web page or not. I think they take Florida Blue, not as a supplemental. If you move down here and you're not on Medicare yet, if you have Florida Blue, I think the village's healthcare system will take that. But if you're on Medicare, or I'm sorry, on Medicare with a supplemental plan of, say, Florida Blue, the village's healthcare system will not take that. You have to be on the Advantage plan. Now, this is what I was told. So, and then the other thing they do take, I believe, is TRICARE, which is the military, retired military benefits, and they do take TRICARE. But other than that, that's it. So the TRICARE, I'm out. And if you don't have TRICARE as a retired military, then forget that. If you're on Medicare at all, and you have a supplemental plan of any kind, to the best of what I know is the village's healthcare system will not accept you at all. You have to be Advantage plan. And I'm Advantage plan with United Healthcare because United Health down here is really predominant everywhere. And I don't like to argue and carry on and do things differently and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I just took the Advantage plan with United Health, and I've had it for 6 years now, and to this date, and I've had the problem I have with the medical system here, and I swear to God, I think they're milking Social Security and Medicare. That's what I think. That's just my own personal opinion. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. But every time I go in to see my doctor here, they're very good about setting you up doctor appointments. It seems like almost every month. Every time you turn around, there's a doctor appointment for this, or they send you in for a test for that. I mean, it's just constantly. And I'm not going to live in a doctor's office. They're not doing that to me. And I just think They are very well educated in knowing on the Advantage plan exactly what Medicare will pay for. And so if it pays for it, whether you need it or not, we're sending you in for that test. I've had tests I've never heard of before. I've had 3 different tests for my heart, up to which, I don't know why, I've never complained about heart problem. I've never complained about chest pains. I've never complained about feeling tired all the time. All the symptoms of maybe of heart trouble. One time the doctor asked me, he said, "Do you ever have shortness of breath?" And I was joking with him when I said it. Never do that again. I said, "Yeah." I said, "I was short of breath today." He said, well, "Is there any reason for that?" I said, "Yeah, it's 100 degrees outside and I've got a push mower and I was push mowing my yard." Ha ha ha. Next thing I know, I'm going to the village's hospital getting a stress test. Everything came out clean, no problem. I go back to the doctor. Of course, you got to go back every time you have a test, and that doctor has to read you all the stuff. Everything's okay. Well, just to make sure, I want to send you in for a calcium test. I don't even want that. I said, there's nothing wrong with my bones, right? Calcium bones, that's how I relate it. Oh, no, no, no. This is a new test on the heart. It's a calcium test. Latest and greatest thing. Okay. I wasn't going to do it, but my wife convinced me to go do it. So I did it. I go back to the doctor. He explains the test. Okay. Everything's basically okay. Okay. Then I go back in again for your regular labs thing. I get that done. And you have to go back in the doctor again the next week so he can explain to you what the labs report said. Well, your cholesterol's this, your triglycerides are that. You know the process, right? And then while I'm sitting there, he goes, and we have a new test now. And it's called whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called. And I said, what's this one for? He said, well, it's another test for the heart. It tests the chamber. He explains this thing to me. I said, why do I need all these heart tests? You've tested me twice now and everything comes out okay. And I keep getting these heart tests. He goes, well, he said, it's just something at your age, people over 65 should have done. I said, fine. I said, but that's it. This is it. I'm not doing any more heart tests. This is it. So I go in and I get that one done. And the nurses knew I was coming. And she said, it only take a couple of minutes. We swear. You're in, you're out, you're done. So I go in, they put these things on my finger. That's all they did, put these things on my finger. I laid back and she said, take a breath, hold it. Okay, we're done. I said, so now I do. Got to see the doctor again next week so he can sit and explain to me what all this was. She goes, no, I can give you the results right now. I said, okay, what's the result? She said, you're good. I said, okay, I'm not doing no more heart tests. We're done with this. And I don't even know what spurred all these tests to start with. Now, I'm not a hypochondriac to where every time I get a headache, I think I got a brain tumor. Every time that I get a little bit of a gas pain in my chest, I don't run to the emergency room. You know, I'm just not that guy. So I sometimes think, now they can justify this by saying these tests are things you should and everybody should be doing. It protects you. It's like preventive maintenance on a car. These are things you should do before something. Listen, they can justify all they want. I say, Medicare, we charge them for this. Medicare, we charge them for that. Medicare, we charge them for this. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm done buying the new sailboat for everybody that wants to do a test on me. And so when the COVID came around, I said, you know what? There's my out. So I called the doctor's office. I said, cancel all my appointments in the future. I'm not coming in your office because of COVID. And she said, okay, give us a call when you're ready. Well, I'm not sure when I'm going to be ready because I'm tired of that. Just saying. That's my little rant. Just saying. Okay, I think that's about all. Hope that helps you with your choice on Medicare and the Village's health system. The Village's health system is just, it's basically a private health system. I don't really have anything good. I don't really have anything bad to say. I mean, who am I to be able to judge whether this is fair or whether this is the way it goes? Or I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not in the medical field. All I know is I'm getting what I want, I suppose. I'm getting the medicines that I've been taking for many, many years. I take basically 2. I take a high blood pressure pill. It's a very mild one. They've all told me that. So it's a very mild one, and I'm good. I also know that if I would drop about 20 pounds, I could probably do away with that pill. In reality is, everybody's always wanting to lose 20. Reality is, you may lose 20, you're going to gain it back. Everybody gains it back. I don't hardly know anybody that's lost 20 pounds and kept it off over a long period of time. I'm sure there's those out there. I just don't know of any. But I also know me. I know me. I know what I'll do. I know my attitude about things. Nobody knows me better than me. And I'm here to tell you, I will starve myself. I will lose 20 pounds. And then as soon as I reach that goal, I'm going to say, I'm done. That's it. I did what I wanted to do. I made the goal. Now let's go eat. I mean, that's me. So I just don't worry about it. So anyway, I just try to maintain where I'm at now. Doctor says I'm good. You know, everything's good. So the health system, it is what it is. Is it anything better than anybody else? I don't think so. But I wanted to be able to go see my doctor in my golf cart. Everybody knows I'm a golf cart nut around here. And if I can't get there in my golf cart, I pretty much really don't even want to go. It's very rare that you'll see me get in the car and go outside the campus, so to speak, and do anything. And when I do, if you ever notice on any of the videos, who's driving? I don't drive. But once in a while I will. It just depends on what's going on at the time. But I'm satisfied with where I'm at. I'm satisfied with what I've got. And I'm satisfied knowing I can get in my golf cart and go to the lab and get my labs test. You know. That being said, Wednesday Night Live coming up tonight. See you on the other side.